components of supply and demand of loanable funds. SL curve is the supply curve of loanable funds. The supply curve of the loanable fund, which is denoted by SL, is upward rising or slopes from left to right, which signifies that there is a direct relationship between rate of interest and the supply of loanable fund, which means that if the rate of interest increases, the supply will increase and vice versa. Let us now see that same phenomena here with the help of this diagram. You can see when the rate of interest was OR, the supply for loanable fund was OM, and when the rate of interest increased from OR to OR1, then the supply of loanable fund increased from OM to OM1. Similarly, when the rate of interest decreased from OR to OR2, then the supply also decreased from OM to OM2. So this relation is direct relation between the rate of interest and supply of loanable funds. Now let us see the components of the supply of loanable funds, or the component of SL. The components of SL are as follows. Number 1 is saving, which is denoted by S. Number 2, this hoarding, which is denoted by DH. Bank money, which is denoted by DM, and disinvestment, which is denoted by DI. Now we can say that SL is equal to S plus DM plus BM plus DI. Similarly, we can see the demand curve of the loanable funds theory. The DL, which is the demand curve of the loanable fund theory, is slopes downward from left to right, which means there is an inverse relationship between the rate of interest and the demand for loanable funds. This can be seen with the help of this diagram. In the OY axis, rate of interest is taken, and on the OX axis, loanable fund is taken. When the rate of interest was OR, then you can see that the loanable funds demand was OM, and when the rate of interest increased from OR to OR1, at that time the demand for loanable fund decreased from OM to OM1. Similarly, when the rate of interest decreased from OR to OR2, we can see that the demand for loanable fund increased from OM to OM2. Now, like the components of supply of loanable funds, there are also component of demand for loanable funds, and this component are as follows. DS, which means this savings. This savings will be increased if the rate of interest increase. Hoarding, this saving will decrease when the rate of interest increases, and vice versa. Similarly, hoarding also will decrease if the rate of interest increase, and investment will also decrease if the rate of interest increase. So these are the three components of demand for loanable funds. Now we can write that DL is equal to DS plus H plus I, and which is shown here as DL. So DL is not alone, it is the combination of these savings, hoardings and investment. Thank you.